Just taking a little break here. A little tired.
Problem. My
But I
God,
think we're live. Are we live? I think, Erica, we're live, aren't we? I better start talking. Welcome back to ASIS 2017, SecurityGuideTV.com. Chuck Harold. My next guest, Mr. Dan Cremins, one of my favorite guys from MarchNetworks.com. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back.
Now, we had a great talk last time.
Yes, we did.
Familiarize everybody. Let's have another one. Let's talk about what March Networks does and what market you serve.
Yeah, so March Networks is really focused on multi-site enterprise applications. Think of the typical banks, retail stores, even transit. The video goes on buses and trains. So you have a large number of sites that have cameras.
Right.
So you need a solution that basically can handle that fleet of different sites and provide health management and push out updates and provide an overall complete solution.
And the networks are diverse. I was just speaking to a company here that specializes in taking an analog cable, connecting it to a digital camera, or taking an old analog camera, connecting it and making it digital looking. So when you go to sites, you might have a bank building that was built in 1909 with no conduit and some analog cameras, and now you got some digital cameras. How do you put that all, one client might have all these buildings with different places.
Yeah.
How do you make that all work for them?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of analog cameras out there that are connected to coax cable.
Yeah.
And for a number of years, people have been trying to migrate to IP. Now the problem with that is you basically have to replace the coax cable. So one thing you can actually do, which we have recently come out with, is a tri-bit recorder that has analog, IP, and HD analog. So you can basically connect a camera, which is HD analog, that has the same resolution, like megapixel HD, as an IP camera, but you can reuse the existing coax cable.
How do they do that? That's fascinating.
That's a huge cost savings from installation. Yeah. And from the end user standpoint, they exactly want, because they just want a better picture. They really don't care if it's IP or analog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And those coaxial cables, sometimes in old buildings, it's a historical challenge. Like I've worked in buildings where you can't drill a hole anywhere. You got to use what's there, and if it's an old conduit, you got to use it, but it's full, you're out of luck. So to convert these things is fascinating. Give us an idea of a typical client, size and scale, right? I'm assuming maybe a medium business isn't going to use you, but are we talking about the Fortune 100 guys?
Well, I mean, think of a typical bank or retail store, like a bank branch or a QSRC store. They can have anywhere from 8 to 32 cameras. So those cameras can essentially be analog for the most part, and then they want that better resolution.
Yeah.
So they will start trying to migrate to something better. So in the past, their only choice was basically to migrate to IP, and that's still a viable option. Some people love to do that. But now there's another solution like you're talking about. So they can reuse that existing coax cable, or if they want, they can basically deploy an IP camera. Now, some examples, there are some cameras out there that you really have to go to IP for right now. For example, a 360 camera. So if you want a full view, and if you think about a bank lobby or a C-store, that provides a perfect overview scene to what you're trying to look for. So, so you might have a mixture or a hybrid application where some analog, some IP, and maybe some HD analog.
How good can that resolution come up? Can it really, go from an old analog camera and really raise up to a 1080 look?
So even with the best analog camera, you go from analog to say like a 4 cipher coin resolution to HD, you're probably going like 3 to 4 times better resolution.
Okay.
So there are other cameras out there that go 5, 12, 20, and now it depends on your application. So in a small area, you really don't need to have that higher resolution. You don't need like a 20 megapixel camera.
No, that's right.
1080p can do wonders for you. Now it's different. If you're in a parking lot application and you're trying to see a great distance and be able to zoom in a license plate, that's when you need something like that.
Now, talk about analytics. What do you guys offer in analytics on that?
Hot topic.
And how do you do analytics on an analog camera? I can't figure that one out.
Yeah. So analytics can reside in different places. It could reside on the camera, it could reside on the recorder, it could reside in a cloud. So our strategy is basically we just treat all this information as data.
Okay.
Right? And what we're trying to do is simply just integrate the data. So if you think about the concept, you hear the big terms like, big data. So we're taking big data into smart data. The way you do that is you apply some type of analytics. It doesn't have to be just video analytics, it could be analytics on other types of technology. So what our strategy is, we're basically integrating that information. We basically rely on something else to do the analytics. We pull that information in, and we pull it into a tool that allows people to do searching. So in the beginning, we came up with a tool to be able to do searching on transactions and then video analytics.
Okay.
And then we started branching off. Like we just recently integrated with RFID from Zebra. And then the latest one that we're showing at the show here is something from Patriot One, which is a weapon detection system.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter what type of data it is, we are basically pulling it in, we're integrating it, and it's allowing our customers to be able to search on that data.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's
How long have you
kinda
guys been in
cool.
business?
Let's see, probably about 15 years now, I guess.
So what was going on 15 years ago? Because
Well-
that's ancient history.
Yeah.
We're talking Fred Flintstone stuff in this business, right?
Yeah, so back then, I think people were looking for a very reliable, serviceable type recording solution for really banks. If you think about a bank application, there's usually no one there that touches the equipment. So you got to make
That's
sure
true,
the
yeah.
video is always being recorded when you need
Okay.
it. So that's really how March Network started. We came out with a recording solution that was Linux-based. We thought that was more reliable, and we wanted to come up with something that was designed to last for years and years, and then be very serviceable. So we basically started there, and then we applied that to the transit business. You think that's even more challenging because now you're putting a recorder on a bus and you got all the vibration.
Right. And
So
this
that's
this
another
was
level.
tape back then, wasn't it tape?
Well, no, we're just starting the eve
Oh,
of
I'm a lot
of
older
digital-
than I thought I
of-
was.
of-
Okay.
We're just on the eve of digital recorders there.
Yeah.
And then we branched out into retail, same
Yeah.
application, and that's, as we started going with these customers and having these multi-site applications, then we said, you know what, we need a solution for these system administrators, kind of like what IT people do
Right.
today, to be able to handle this large fleet of enterprise systems out there.
I remember at Fox, I think it was 2000, we got our first digital. 4 cameras, cost $30,000 on a deck. It didn't even have a gigabyte. I had to use iOmega discs, right, to put them in to record stuff. It was a big challenge. But what we learned from that was the next best thing is always on the horizon, and I'm going to sell that next year and get a new one because I got something better. What's better? What's next for March Networks? What are you guys working on?
Yeah, so I think it comes back to what our customers are looking for, which is be able to search on more information, to pull it together, to give you business intelligence. I think in the
Yes,
beginning,
business intelligence.
Right,
The C guys need this data to make decisions.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think in the beginning it was really just about security, even this type of show security. But if you go out to your customers, there's more problems that you have in just security. You have business intelligence type problems that could be from their marketing department, their
Right.
operations department, even their HR department. And you could actually use video. So all we're trying to do, our strategy is basically to apply analytics, whether it's in, AI or it's big data or it's deep learning, to be able to go and do searches and be able to provide an end-to-end solution for not just the security people, but everyone in the organization.
Dan Cremins, MarchNetworks.com. Always a fascinating conversation. I'm glad
Thank
we
you
could see
very
it.
much.
Sorry I missed you with my broken leg. Skipped a year, but we'll get back on track soon. Back here in a minute on SecurityGuideTV.com. Tune in. Remember, we're live here on SecurityGuideTV.com at ASIS 2017, Dallas, Texas. I got the city right this time. Take us out, Miss Engineer.